Hey, welcome to the World Series of Board Gaming 2022. I'm Stephen Bonacore, the Podfather of Gaming.
And I'm Shira from Quackalope.
And we are here in Las Vegas to crown the world champion of board gaming for the year of 2022.
Specifically right now for 7 Wonders.
We are going to be giving you live commentary on the final table for 7 Wonders.
Yes, we are.
Now, they've already played 2 rounds
to
get to the final table. And we've got 5 players here that are amazing. I mean, I spoke to each one of those players right after they won, and they were ecstatic, excited, really interested in getting to the final table as soon as they can.
I heard one of them actually played 100 games in preparation for this game.
Unbelievable. Over the last 4 months,
Yeah.
The guy said he played 100 games, and he broke out best strategies and everything. So I'll talk about who my pick is, but you might figure it out just by that commentary already. So who's going to be judging this?
We have 2 judges with us tonight, Josh Schwartz and Nathan Twig, and they will be right there with the contestants, making sure everything goes according to the rules.
Yeah, this World Series of Board Gaming is very strict, of course, in its rules. We've got to keep it that way, but it's been running as smooth as anything.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been looking at the play of both 7 Wonders and Splendor. Splendor has also been running today, and really, without incident, it's been going great.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So, how close are we to starting?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Practicing this a year ago.
Okay.
I bought 6 months ago.
We are ready to begin. Is everybody ready? Okay.
Just gotta get them.
All right, so I'm just gonna deal out piles, and then I will hand them out. Everybody good with that?
Nice, sure.
So they're about to be doing their leaders drafting. That's the first step in this game, where they will end up with a pile of 4 leaders in their hand, and they will only be allowed to play 3.
Oh,
Yeah, so that's an
by-
interesting point to make, that we are playing with 2nd edition 7 Wonders, which has some tweaks to the rules, and we might even be able to summarize some of those. I think I have it in all of my notes here. But we're also playing with the Leaders expansion, right? And the Leaders, 4 leaders, and in the end, after the draft, you get 3, and then you can...
At the end of the draft, you'll have 4 that are going to be
have
draft.
all,
Yeah,
you
you'll
have
have
all.
4, and you'll have to make that tough decision about which one you want to play.
Very good. You're very experienced with the Leaders expansion, much more than I am. So
I try.
Keep me honest. Keep me honest.
Be able to do a character voice.
The one everyone can do.
Right. Some degree, we all agree to be peekers? That means.
Do you want to talk about who the players are?
Yeah, why don't we get to that? So,
We're
in
good to go, right?
position
So we're good
1...
to go.
And I've got to see what that means on the screen. I believe, yes, that is. Position 1 there on the left of your screen is Chris. So Chris is going to be playing Babylon, which is, by the way, I found out while I just talking to people as they were leaving their tables over the course, was winning a lot.
Oh.
The Babylon Wonder happened to be winning a lot.
Okay.
So does that,
He
does
might
that
have
mean
an edge.
does that mean there's a trend? I guess we'll find out.
Position 2 is going to be Garner, and he's going to be playing Rhodes.
Right.
And that usually goes for like a military strategy, but we'll see what happens in this game.
Now, Garner was the one who we just mentioned before, who's
He's
played
played
100 games at least over the last 4 months. So, he's going to be my pick. All right? Well, that's kind of easy when somebody tells me something like that.
Player number 3 is going to be Molly, playing Giza.
And Giza tends to have a military edge, but also very versatile.
Very versatile, a lot of points. Ricky will be playing in position 4, and he'll be playing Ephesus.
And Ephesus is going to be probably going after science, it sounds like, because the neighbors of Ricky have the manufactured goods.
Okay.
Based on, by the way, the seating was completely random, and the wonders were completely random.
Yep, players didn't know what they were walking into when they showed up at the table.
And that's, again, for balance. We have to continue doing that kind of thing.
And the last position is going to be player 5. And you will be able to see him on the left-hand side, and that is Ricky, and that is
So wait on one more pass.
Gunn, playing Alexandria.
And Alexandria gets like a resource bump, I think. So
Yep.
kind of a versatile seat. One thing we didn't mention is Chris playing Babylon. Babylon's kind of a science player. So it's interesting to see, if
a lot of people can go for science, but
Yes.
if too many players go for science, then none of them are going to be able to take it home.
Exactly. You know, that's
Select their
the
leader.
interesting strategy, right? You know, science can get you so many points, but
Good leader.
then it stands that if too many people do it, or people start hate drafting you because it's going to be obvious to see it, who knows what's going to happen then?
I am curious to see what leaders they're going to end up with. I see them looking and getting prepared to pass. It's exciting.
Everybody good? Yep. All right. Go ahead and take our communities here. We'll be down here for a bit until we're all done. It's going to cost me 4.
Okay. I will recruit Leonidas. 4-2.
Nebuchadnezzar for 4.
It's points for blue
Yes.
Cleanup on for 2. Yeah.
and gold for constructed yellows.
Yeah, yellow is money.
Okay. Alrighty. Are you ready?
So many cards.
Okay, their initial hand in age 1 is being dealt out right now. Players will get 7 cards. And there'll be 6 turns. They have to play 6 of those cards. That last card in their hand, drafting, by the way, drafting, of course, the cards. The last card will be played, but that 7th card gets discarded. That's part of the standard way 7 Wonders is played.
It looks like they all put the leader in place. No one sacrificed it for 3 coins
Good.
in this first round, which is pretty typical. And yeah, like you said, they have a couple options with their cards. They can either slot them into place and build them. They can either turn them in for points, or they can slot them in and start building their wonder. And
Right.
each have variable steps in their wonder building.
Wonder's always the most interesting part, right, in a lot of ways, because, you know, every wonder is very different. Every wonder is going to give you something completely different and different ways of that manifesting itself. But sometimes wonders don't even come into play. You might
Yeah.
build one, you know, and then because you got something kind of early on, and then just forget about it.
Yeah, mine.
I mean, that's the brilliance of 7 Wonders. I mean, there's so many different ways
so
that
in
you can
on
really play this game, and of course,
You're good.
tactically, you've got to wait to see what you get. And if someone is getting stuff that you need and they're on the wrong side of you, that's a problem, of course. So you're gonna have to change your strategy up.
We ready?
One,
All right.
Does anybody need to pay?
I'm
Should
gonna pay the bank here real quick.
Should.
So
Yeah, you can reveal them in order. Yeah. Okay. I just meant the staging, but nobody should. I mean,
so one of the special rules that
Yeah,
have
maybe
to be
some
implemented here is that all players select cards and payments simultaneously during using their game mat. If there's a player attempting to play a card that they already have a copy of in play, which they're not allowed to do, that card cannot be played properly, and they are required to forfeit the card without gaining coins. So that is the rule, the way it's supposed to be played, and you can't go back and say, oh, no, well, I'll play this card for money. You can't do that. That's a special, strong rule that we use here at the WSBG.
Looking at their boards, they have all chosen a brown resource to start off with, which is some of the most basic
Right.
resources that you need to kind of build everything and build your engine upon.
Kind of typical, right? You got to get some resources early, even if you're in the end going to mooch off
Yes.
your neighbors, right? And
You very frequently have to mooch off your
Right.
neighbors. You can't get all the resources you need to build everything by yourself.
so one of the interesting things that Garner did tell me, I'm going to talk about him a lot because he was very vocal at the end of his match and about his strategies, that he used a resource deprivation strategy is what he called it. So basically, he built as little resources as possible, but he used all of the yellow cards which give you personal resources only, right? Those yellow cards are only for you to use, but everyone can use the brown,
East
which are the
trading
basic resources, or the gray, which are the manufactured resources.
Yeah, the yellow resource actually usually give you a discount of buying the resources from your neighbors. So if you get a strong economic and money engine up and running, you can rely on your neighbors to buy their resources.
Character using the clay.
Looks like Garner
We're
followed
firing. All right.
what he said he was going to do. He's got one of those yellow cards in play to buy resources already.
There he goes.
It looks like a couple people actually got yellow up and running. Gunn has the first military card played. The Alexandria.
It's going to be interesting to see how military plays out, because military is one of those, like, it works or it doesn't work strategy, right? Because if you end up building up too much, everyone just forgets about it. It's a maximum 18 points, right? That's what you can maximum you can get in military is 18 points with anything weird special. You can get 5, 3, 1
Yes.
on each side,
Yep.
9 points per side.
Yeah.
You know, total in the ages. And
Somebody-
you've used a bunch of cards maybe to do that, and therefore that's not a good victory point per card ratio.
Depending on which leaders you have, some of the leaders can actually play off of it and actually reward you for the military points that you get and make them even more worthwhile
Oh,
at the
very
end of the
good.
game.
Pretty good.
Very, very good point.
But we don't know what leaders are all in play because they don't all get to be placed into play, just like the guilds.
That was allowed.
All right, I see the first science card has come out,
Stuck
and
a
that was to
3D
Chris
elite knight.
playing Babylon.
I like this stuff.
Looks like Molly is going down a blue track. So far, she's got only 1 brown card and 2 blue. She might be paving the way for herself.
Now the blue cards, which are like buildings, I guess. What are they
Yeah, they're
technically
buildings.
called? Commercial building. I forgot what they're technically, but the blue cards are the buildings in the game. Those are the biggest change, I think, between first and second edition. They removed some of the chains. There was a big chain between trying to remember what it is. I have it here on my list. Between the altar and the Pantheon, there was a 3-card chain, but they removed the middle card, so now you go altar to Pantheon, which was the other way was too much of a strategy that people were abusing, I guess, and they've changed that up. So a few of those changes have been implemented in the second edition. See how that changes any gameplay.
We're starting to see what some of the leaders are. Chris who's playing the Babylon Wonder, has the Archimedes leader, and that one rewards you for going down a science track, which he's only got 1 science so far, so he might not be getting the cards he needs to go down his track fully.
Give me some more. More ore.
Via East Trading Post pay you for both wood.
Oh, thank you. I am a little broke. West Trading Post.
I see Gardner has built the first stage of his Wonder so far. Gave him some points for endgame. Some of the wonders can reward you mid-game, and some of them can just give you points towards endgame. They can give you resources, they can give you military, they can give you a whole bunch of things. And each wonder is double
Just
zero.
kidding, guys. Test.
It was a test, and he failed.
It's like, do you admit that you think he's wrong or not?
It's interesting. We can see a little bit of the drafting.
You can see people's hands, what they're choosing between.
Yeah,
Especially Garner.
we have a good view into Garner's hand.
Yeah.
I'm trying to put the card up there.
So we have a couple of views here that we can look at. So we have the Molly Garner and who's the player there?
Chris.
And Chris on that monitor, and
And that's the monitor that they're currently
That's the one you're
viewing
looking at
as
now.
well. And it looks like Molly chose Bilkus, which allows you to pay for resource. That's the leader she has in play right now. Ricky
Play. Pop carrot.
has got
For free,
Nebuchadnezzar, and that rewards you for going down a heavy blue card
Carrots
strategy.
for free with Leonidas, and I can afford it in all the ways.
It fits your strategy and
Gun has Xenophon, which rewards you for going down with yellow cards. And the one we skipped is Garner, and he chose Leonidas, which gives him military.
And what has he placed? 2 military cards.
Yeah. He might be the heavy military contender. And based on his seeding, the 2 players on either side of him don't have any military in place. And by the count I have, they're 5 cards in. So I think he's going to be raking in the points for military this round.
I think he's going to get a lot of, well, he's going to get his 2 points there, but then he had the end game scoring, as you mentioned, for Leonidas, is going to give him extra military points. So, yeah, I mean, on paper right now, he's scoring 18 points military by the end of the game, and we'll see what else his bonus is going to be.
The positions are actually interesting because Gunn also has some military, but he is not sitting next to Garner. So they are kind of centered among players who are not going for military strategy. So they're each maximizing their military strategy as best as they can. Last card of Age 1. Everyone is throwing their cards that they don't want into the middle, or cards they don't want the players next to them to get.
Yes.
That's another component of this game.
Right?
Hate
drafting
Jake,
is one of my favorite mechanics. No, you too.
Jinx. I
No,
love it.
really, a jinx. Give me a beer. But really, is it like so much fun to do that to somebody, to your friends?
Yes. Oh, it's fantastic. You look over at their board, you see exactly the card that would be good for them, and you're like, I'm just going to trade this in for money.
And the best part of all is, like you say, this is the best card you could possibly have, and snag right into the center. Goodbye. You're not getting it.
My hero.
I would sell for 3. May I have it in silver, please?
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
I will construct the wonder. 1 wood here and then 1 to the middle.
So I've been pointed out by Brian, who's our crack behind-the-scenes person here. He's one of the people who runs the whole World Series of Board Gaming. Thank you, Brian, for being back there. He's pointing out that there's no Halicarnos, the leader Halicarnos, which enables you to leader, right?
For build/recruit when he intended.
Oh,
to
wonder.
Wonder.
Still doing.
Halicarnos is a wonder. Sorry, I didn't know that. Probably one of the ones that I
here,
didn't have.
we
And,
have 0
and that one,
military,
you
so that's
can't
gonna be
get
a
anything.
-2.
With that, you can take things out of discard pile,
And then go ahead
but
and award him
it's
his
not in
1
the game,
point
so
for that
once it's in the discard pile, it's
gone.
gone.
And I receive 1 point plus
All right,
1.
they're
so 2
tallying their
points.
military right now.
All right, we're in Age 1 scoring.
Yep.
Extra 1.
And then we get a -1 and a tie.
What's interesting with the military is not only the person who's going for the military gets positive points, the players next to them actually get negative points.
Negative points
so
as
it's
well.
going to be taking them down if they don't manage to keep up.
Right. Now, unlike the positive points, so by winning
So, like,
it's
leaders
1
for
point,
age
and then
2.
it goes to 3 points in the second age, and it goes to 5 points in the third age. When you get the negative points, it's -1, -2, -3. So it hurts a little bit more each one, not
Not as
Ultra-
dramatically
right.
as you get rewarded.
right.
But if you get all of those, that's -6 points.
Oh yeah, no, it can definitely cripple you.
And you're getting it from both sides.
Yeah,
So-
times 2.
Yeah, so -12 points.
And at the moment, neither player on either side of Garner has put up any military. So we're
And
gonna see.
neither side of Gun either. It looks like they are picking their leader for
Pretty good.
age
Does anybody
2.
need to stage
I
payment?
stay, I'm paying mine. I'm paying right.
That's me.
So while we're waiting for that, do you have a
Alright.
preferred strategy that
the
you
one
like
here.
to implement versus,
One
you know,
play.
just playing by the rules?
Play a little bit,
I mean,
yeah.
playing by the draft and whatever comes up. I mean, is there something you tend
I
to?
will recruit
be more interested in?
I usually like to go down the science strategy. It can be really rewarding if the right science cards comes into your hand. You're either looking for sets of the same science symbol, or you're looking for a set of different science symbols, and they are they just multiply by each other.
Sets or runs, basically, like in poker, right?
Runs are just the square of how many you get. So 4 times 4 is 16, 5 times 5 is 25. A set of all the symbols is 7 points.
Right. Then, and if you think about it, if you can get 5 of the same symbol, and you square that, that's 25 points. That's 5 victory points per card.
Yes.
So that is a really big number.
Prepared?
So it's a huge thing. Now, of course, getting basically it would be all 5, right? Because there are 4 of the green cards with each one of the symbols, but then you can also have a leader that gives it to you, or there's the is it a guild that gives you a science?
Yeah,
any science? Was it a science
some
guild?
Of the wonders can actually give you
Wonders can give it
extra
to you.
science symbol.
So getting 5 of one symbol is a huge thing. That's worth a hate draft, without a doubt.
Definitely. And it's interesting because you also could get run, and you can get one of each other symbol, and get both. You can get both the set of completion and the run. All right, they're dealing age 2 cards.
Now, did they play the second leader yet?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like some of them played them as their wonder.
Okay. Oh, yeah, right there.
A lot of people have played them as their wonder. Gunn played it on the first stage of his wonder. Ricky played it as the first stage of his wonder.
I might be the only non-magic.
Molly played hers face up.
My husband has
I believe
tried.
Garner played his face up.
It's too late.
And
now.
Chris played
Start 20
his face up. Each camera. Each camera angle. The one camera angle played all theirs face up. The other camera angle played them all face down.
Yeah. See? Way too late. Don't know any of it.
Make them pay for the advertising.
Everybody has finished their first wonder, their first stage of their wonder at this point in the game, and they are drafting now in reverse direction.
Right, and as everybody knows, probably, if you know Seven Wonders, you first draft clockwise, and then in the age 2 you draft counterclockwise, and then age 3 back to clockwise again.
Yeah, and pretty much by the time of age 3, you can guarantee your military victory from the player on your left, because you are handing them all of their cards,
Right.
besides their starting hand.
Exactly.
You're the winner.
Oh wait, we
Staging for payment.
Saving money. I'm paying, unfortunately, right.
Give it up, babe.
That's my $1.
I do not need to pay. Everybody good?
Yep.
I like the fact that
Go
the
ahead, take my
players
free.
are being very friendly. I mean, look,
that's
this is a competition. This is a very important game in the competition because it's for a ring. It's for a it's for a seat
Going to
at the
construction training
semifinals
ground. I've got,
of the
2-4
entire
and
championship.
Yeah.
Took care of the
So
wood
there's a
floor.
lot at stake here, but you can hear by the table chatter that they're keeping it friendly, and I think that's just wonderful.
That's something that I've seen throughout the whole day, just wandering around and talking to people. Everyone's coming here to have fun. Yes, there is the underlying sense of
Right.
competition, but
Right.
everyone's here for their love of games.
And the people that I have actually just spoken to, not even like during the tournament,
money. This
they
is
were
the
all
first year
saying,
I've
"Oh
had
no,
to
no, I'm
take
going to
money.
get guilty. Oh no, I'm not serious."
So
I'm-
you
No
have-
one
like,
thinks they're an expert
Everybody,
player.
every person has
does.
said, "No,
I don't have to stay.
I suck at all the games that I do.
Yeah, that's
I'm
a
just here to
no,
have
you
a
do
good time."
Staging
Which
is only for
is, I'm sure,
Right.
you
So
know,
you're-
a half truth. I'm sure that they've at
You
least
could pay a
played
player.
the games that
Like
they've signed up for, and they're
If you
pretty
did
good
not
at
have
them.
that, you would be
But in the
absolutely
same time, they're here to have fun.
No, I thought about this.
Alright,
People
well,
are
I'm
defining
paying
their
you 2 for
strategies
someone.
more
Just
and more.
for someone. Yes. I can say
Garner's
cover
going
it.
heavy military.
That's
You see that?
He is certainly going heavy military.
I think he's the
I
most
got the 4 because
specific in his strategy at the moment.
Can't buy these guns. But I also
It's interesting. Somali did get a military card out, but it's not even going to come close to.
But it might be
good.
enough to keep her above Ricky, who has no military cards at the
You gotta
moment.
reach now.
on the other side. On the
Yeah,
other side of her,
because she's
sure.
sitting next to Ricky on the other
Right.
side. So even negating some of those negative points
Sure.
can be something.
And that's what you end up seeing as the ages go by. You'll basically win on one side and you'll lose on the other
Yeah.
side. And if you can keep that, at least the balance is okay for you. You're not gonna get destroyed using it. Garner's gonna do very well, obviously, on his military especially with the leader he has.
Yeah. I think he's probably hoping for certain guilds to come out at the end for endgame scoring.
Yeah, let's talk about guilds for a second. I mean, guilds are the big wild card, I think, in Seven Wonders, right? So there's a total of 10 guilds, but in a 5-player game, you get 7 guilds out.
Yes.
So it's 3 guilds. You don't even know what they're gonna be in the game, not gonna be in the game, and you can score an obscene number of points in some of those guilds if you get them at the right time and you get the right resources to put them out and all that. So
And you would basically prepared and set yourself up for the appropriate guild to get into
Right.
place, and no one hate drafts that perfect guild from you. They're the purple cards that are only going to be coming out in Age 3, and Age 3 is very competitive as the game is coming to a close.
Absolutely. And you completely swing the game at Age 3 where we're ahead of ourselves because they're only in Age 2, but like there are no resources that come out in Age 3, and all the guilds come out in Age 3. So all of a sudden these purple cards start showing up, and you have whatever resources you have, you're set.
And you can see some of the guilds on the screen right now as how they are rewarding you for different sets of cards, cards in your neighbor's hands, cards in your hands. That one gives you a
There's the
science symbol.
guild. Yep, the science guild, of course, is giving you that extra science symbol to make the
Chris
5th
would
set.
love that one.
Take it for free. My apothecary.
I'm going to play my vineyard, which will immediately give me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 money. And the rules do say, since this is all simultaneous, if that is a brown card, I will get a money off of it.
You have a way you want that back?
Why don't you give it to me 3 and 3? That should be fair.
We ruled the other way in my last game.
That was incorrect.
We looked it up.
We looked it up. Okay.
It was a rule that was
Well,
not.
don't play the
It
person.
was not incredibly clear, but we referenced it.
Alright, you get one more.
I'm glad I said it.
I do have to pay one. I didn't stage my dog.
That's
That's to the bank, so that's
The
not
bank,
stage.
the bank does not really use.
Bank is no stage.
So it was pointed out to
I don't
us
care what you do.
by our crack behind the scenes Brian that Gunn,
Retrieve
it was Gunn, right? Misplayed a card. He meant to play it
Chain
He
money.
meant
as
to play his leader face up instead of face down underneath his wonder for the
Pick up
first stage
from
of
your
his
left.
wonder.
interesting.
Well, he played his leader face down, so we'll see how that changes his strategy going forward.
There's nothing stopping me from staging my money immediately so I don't forget. Right?
No, it's just information early. So I'll see you in a
I'd,
problem.
I'd rather give information than forget. So
I'm trying to be good about reminding everyone because that's no fun. That's not the way anyone wants to.
Oh, that's nice. Did you just hear that? What Garner just said, that he's actually trying to remind people of certain procedural things to do because it's no fun to win if people lose on technicalities or something like that, right? You don't want to win on a technicality. You don't want to lose it. You want to win because you've played the best game, and that's
And then
good
I
sportsmanship.
need stage money. I'm good. And I don't have access to yellow cards.
No.
Correct.
Yeah, that is a little clarification. You cannot use
Our
your
brown cards are good
players,
enough for you?
your
Should get
neighbors'
my yellow
yellow
cards
cards. You can only use the cards on their
I
city.
tried. I
You
tried to
can
help
use
you out.
their gray cards, and you can use their brown cards. Meaning you can buy resources off of your neighbors that you don't have them yourself,
Play
and you're
the
paying them money.
library,
So,
which I get for
and a
free
player
because
cannot
it's
refuse
my
to
script
sell you
for
their
it.
resources.
Resources are virtual, right? You don't
Yes.
actually. And
You don't actually
I'm
get
gonna be
pieces
you
or
know,
tokens,
right.
but you're using them to
Those
build the
drones.
cards, and you need them to build some of the cards.
I'd like to think that this was one of the
I
first
can
games
purchase
that
from
used
him
that
at a rate of
concept
1
where, like,
for raw goods,
you know,
so
your
sponsor.
civilization
Unfortunately,
generates these resources in this quantities, and then You use them,
Spend a lot
but guess what? Your neighbors can use them too when they pay you for them and things like that. It's a very different take on resource management, but it is at least part of the mechanics in this game is our resource management.
And if you can't actually pay for the card, then you lose the play. You don't even get to trade it in for money at that point. You had to think in ahead and plan it in ahead that you were going to be getting all the resources you needed to pay for it.
That's a very important thing, and in a house-ruled game, kind of when you're playing with your friends, you might say, "Oh, well, you know, I just played it for free," and everyone says, "Yeah, go ahead."
Yeah.
No one. But
This
here,
isn't house rule.
this is not house rule. This is the
World
tournament.
Series of board gaming.
That's right. You got to do it right.
Wow. Look at the science that Chris has accrued in the time that we've been gone. Do you see he's got 4 science symbols already going strong, and he has that leader that rewards him for the science, and if he builds a second stage of his wonder, he will get another science symbol.
Wow.
He has gone down the science track.
Right. And that's very interesting because we talked about it a little bit in the beginning. If 3 players go down science, one of those players is probably not winning, but he is going strong on science. We've got other players not focusing, just getting a little bit of science out.
Garner and Molly have no
need change for
science,
a
and
three, so I
Gunn
can
and
save
Ricky
mine.
each have 1 science and are deliberating about getting a couple more, I see, from the cards that they're holding in their hand.
Yeah, we also heard Oracle.
I was listening to some players play, and they were saying that sometimes you have to focus on preventing other players from accomplishing their strategy, and sometimes you have to focus on executing your own strategy. And you have to make those
And you
decisions
have
in the
play and
gameplay.
brick.
At what
Yeah.
times you say, I'm hate drafting you and sacrificing the card that I might need for myself.
No, and this
In
is
fact, it comes
almost
from
set that
PlayStation
standard.
and the
This
brick.
game, I believe, was first published in 2011. Is that right? I think maybe. Brian's giving me the maybe. And I think it was way ahead of its
need to
time.
read
It was way ahead of its time that drafting was 100% simultaneous. That way it used resources in this virtual manner. The way that you can go to 7 players and it's seamless. I mean, it just works. Everything works perfectly. Antoine Bauza is the designer of Seven Wonders. He's an amazingly nice person. I do know him personally. I like to drop names all the time, as you can probably see. But no, he really is a great guy. I met him in Essen several times, and genius designer, wonderful person.
Pretty good.
Everybody
Do you
good?
like the
Anybody else
drafting
need
mechanic?
stage money?
So
Oh, I
people
love
have
drafting.
strong opinions on it.
Drafting in general or drafting in this game?
Drafting in general.
No, I love drafting. I mean,
that guy.
simultaneous card drafting
Yeah.
is great. Now, if people sit there
Gonna
and they
the last
draft,
stage
you know,
about
like
one,
usually like center card drafting is not a simultaneous
two
thing,
of
right? The
them.
cards are in center, and I sit there and I
and
wait 3 minutes before I take it, and the next person goes and takes 3 minutes to do it. That's gets
No,
ponderously
simultaneous
great.
drafting.
But
My favorite-
simultaneously drafting, I think, is fantastic. Terraforming Mars, a game I'm
favorite game.
you know, one, thank you, and something I'm
Anyone
very
for
associated with.
just wood, because I need
Using
that.
that simultaneous
Or
drafting
for
is
statue.
fantastic. I mean, it just works well. You make the decisions,
So,
everybody's at the same time, so everyone's having a good time together. Still
strategy now that
go,
we're past
and then
the
I go,
point
and
of the
you just.
It always
Wow.
amazes me that some people play
I-
Terraforming Mars without
what am I,
drafting.
like,
No, you can't.
it's not
You can't. It
100%,
just
but, like,
it makes the game.
No,
my
it does.
number
It does.
one
I mean,
strategy is
sure,
don't
it's
pass
going
West
to
Street.
lengthen the game a little bit, but at the same point,
Sends money
just
away.
getting cards and trying to use them,
He sends it
it,
back.
it defeats the
That's
purpose
the only
of,
reason I went
of
with
how the
Silver
game
West
is supposed to be
at the
played
time.
out.
Or
That
brown
you
resources
can
available.
customize the strategy that you need to go for
yeah.
as you get the cards. Hate drafting in that game is a big thing
I
too.
have before.
It's
Oh, yeah.
happened.
Oh,
You see Helios in that game, and they're going for like
Schools and
heat,
workshops.
and like, oh, I'm not giving you that card.
Yes.
So you're taking it, and in Terraforming Mars, of course,
I don't
by
mind
taking
paying
a
y'all
card,
if
you
it's in a
don't
good
have
way.
to use it. Like here, you're almost having to use every card you grab.
in some fashion, but sometimes you could just trade it in for the money
Right.
that it generates. Money
Well, you don't have to
isn't-
buy it, right? You don't have to buy it. Like if
Right.
I hate draft you on a card, and then I buy the cards that I get. Well, I'm not going to buy that card. I don't really like it. I just buy the cards that I want in my hand.
Yep. Looks like they've only got a couple more cards left for age 2.
I love the science.
Ooh, we have another science competitor. Gunn looks like he's trying to get some science. Can't fully see his board. Looks like he's got 2 science symbols of his own.
I'm seeing 2. Maybe our producer Chris can actually move the screen a little bit. He's
Am I gonna want those?
Garner has completed all 3 stages of his wonders. His first and his third stage of his wonder are just giving him points, and his middle stage gave him an extra 2 military might, which is not necessarily that he needed it with the amount of military that he's got.
Pretty good. Got stage money.
Anybody need stage money?
My money is stage.
I feel like rebates need to be given back to the givers.
Oh, yeah.
Hey,
Or givers
I think you're low on money here.
Thank you, producer Chris.
All right.
By the way, Chris is doing an amazing job here under extraordinary circumstances, and that is known as like stress
I want my wonder and do it myself.
and technology not working. But he's doing a great job here.
Go check out his channel, Room and Board.
Room and board, check it out.
Yes. I'll take the temple.
Plugging
Would
Chris.
bring
Yeah,
breakfast.
he's sending us kisses from across the room.
Chris George. I like that guy.
He's all right. He's okay.
Courthouse, and here is your
He's aight.
$100.
Better than okay.
and customary.
Oh. Yeah. It's a chain. Do I still have to pay?
You stage
Yeah,
yes.
sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I am doing this. I didn't invest in ore, so congratulations on getting in the market while it's high.
Oh.
So Molly is definitely competing in the military.
Final pick of this
No,
round.
I'm sorry. That's not military. That's her
Molly's
resources.
competing in the buildings.
She is building like crazy,
Yeah,
and
she's
she's
trying to
got
get all
a
those
lot of
blue.
resources out there too, which people will be paying her for like crazy.
Yeah, and I believe her second leader is awarding her for those blue cards as well, those building cards. And all 3 stages of her wonders are just points, which is what the buildings award you. It's
But
Just going down a
we're
point
about to
road.
be ready to get rid of that discard pile if nobody plays discard guy.
A question for you guys.
One thing we
When I
didn't
stage
mention
this
is
wonder,
that
do I have to declare it now where it's going to
certain
be, or
cards
no,
get easier to build
Just making sure
as,
I think about
as
it,
the ages
but
go. Like in the beginning, you have to pay for your Age
Yeah.
1 cards. Later
At
on,
least 2 here.
some of the blue
Put the
cards
loom for a
and the
reason.
yellow cards have these chains, and when you go from one to another, you get a free build.
Yes.
If you go from
Yes.
the
No, you
correct
said oofta
Age
earlier,
1
and
card
I'm
to the
from
correct
Minnesota,
Age
so I
2
was-
if you
card
have the
or
predecessor, then it
I
chains
was-
into the next more
Superior
powerful
Green
card
Court
without the
area.
required number of
Green
resources. You
Wisconsin.
can have either or, and that can get pretty powerful.
Thanks, Mom.
Anybody need to stage money? Anybody need to stage money?
My winner's stage is paid.
All right. I wonder right there. I have boom, boom, and boom.
I agree.
Chris
Taking
just showed how
a
he
risk
built
that
his
maybe
second
she
stage of
plays
his
a
wonder,
gray, or
pointing to
maybe
all the
there's a yellow that
resources.
cares about yellows later. Get $1 less for right now.
Maybe extra 2.
Yeah, I just instead of selling, I mean like.
Garner, choose another
Oh, that's
yellow
what
card.
Constructing. I will
Constructing.
construct. I have one. two,
Molly built the
three.
third stage of her wonder.
That's okay.
Constructing Wonder, I have 1 wood, $4.
Ricky built the second stage of his
That's an
wonder.
Age 3 card that I would get $5 back, and I would get an extra point for doing this.
So, Forum, they make that silky stuff that we wear.
Ooh,
And
gone.
They
He's doing kind of a little bit of everything. He's got some of every
Words
type
to
of
be
card
said, but
going on.
maybe it's not understood.
He's got some blue, some military,
ready
some buildings,
to
some
evaluate
military, some
military?
resources, some science.
I'm thinking of ones
I
now.
am ready.
So -1, -1,
And that rewards him
three
from
to-
getting sets of cards.
That might be true. Yeah, exactly. It's usually not a winning strategy, I would
Yeah.
say, to not
Diversify.
specialize a little bit. You gotta have a little bit of a bunch of
Unless
things.
you
but
have both leaders who reward you for having
Right.
a set of cards.
could be.
Alright, they are awarding the military victories at the moment.
And he already resolved
Hey, somebody else is getting beat up too.
So we are in
Okay.
end of age
Leader
2
selection.
scoring.
Pre-Age 3.
Man, you're organized. You did run a company or something.
I do run a company.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's nice. I'm not so organized.
Still a lot of friendly chat at the table. It's just great.
just took
I'm
another
waiting for
dozen
the
to
table
see
flip to really,
And
have
we're
an
passing this
exciting,
privilege, that's right.
exciting moment.
Yes.
To the right.
They are making their decision about what they're doing with their last and final leader. They have 2 left, so this is when they have to get rid of one forever. They will never see it again.
Goodbye, leader.
Parting
Goodbye.
is such sweet sorrow.
Can you keep up?
So I was told on good authority by Brian over there.
Yeah,
They
so
literally
they
have to
those
have a
nice
rule
rooms
for
and
everything
everything
at the
that
World
we
Series
have
of
for
Board Gaming
culture
because you have to
Three.
think about any kind of conflict. They have rule for table flipping.
I lived in
God forbid
If someone
somebody
was-
was actually going to do that, what
Pretty good.
would happen? If
Sorry
it
to
happened
Well,
early, you could restart. If it happened
Team
late,
win.
then
All right.
that person's going to be
Patra.
ejected. He's always going to
If
be
it was a
ejected.
recorded gameplay, they can try and reset the game based on what was last recorded.
It's all-
But if it's on one of the
Oh,
side games that is not being continuously
Oh,
recorded,
there we
that's
go.
even bigger.
They've got rules. They also have rules for color selection, like in Seven Wonders. That does not matter. But like, what if
Everyone wants to play blue. Blue's the
people
best.
associate me with playing red? I tend to always play red. And if I don't play red
Because
these
this is
days,
technically the end of the round.
I'm
so
gonna
they
be
can do,
grabbing
and then
red
I'll do
things
this.
That's the
Right.
problem. Like, if you are so accustomed to
I think-
playing
I didn't know
your
how you
color,
wanted to do
you
that.
start
Exactly.
grabbing for
So,
other players'
yeah,
pieces
yes.
and you move their points up and not your points up, and then all of a sudden someone else is winning.
so there are rules around. Like, no, I like to play red. No, I like to play red.
Your
Okay, then
points
there
are
are a
2
set of
per
rules
3.
to determine what's going to happen.
Yeah,
So
Wow.
just it's great that they came up with all that, and like, Brian is probably the person who did come up with it all now, but it was one of the people on the staff, and kudos literally to the World Series of Board Gaming staff that they've done a great job in organizing this on every level that
They
I can
put
see.
so much thought and background work into making this event a
double 2
success.
points.
And that was Shane. We'll give him a shout out. I was just told.
Alright, shall we see what people did with their
yeah.
third leader? Chris played his. Garner played his. Molly played hers.
Because there was really no other choice.
Ricky. I can't. I think Ricky played his.
These are garbage.
And
tried.
Gunn
Good
played
job,
his.
guys.
Most
Cool.
people played them.
Leaders came out this time.
Yep.
I mean, if they're going to build the
so-
third stage of
so
their wonder, and there's
it's
only
free. Yeah, it's free.
three people have to still build their stage. They'll probably do it on resources during the third age.
Yeah. And so the third age is when all those purple guild cards come out, and there are actually no gray or brown resources that will be appearing.
Right, that's
this
the
round.
big change that
Yeah,
occurs.
you had to have built up your engine and your resource tree before now, or you're buying from your neighbors and hoping they have it.
And hoping they have it is kind of the key thing there, right? If they don't have it and you don't have it, you are SOL. And I won't say what that means, but you know it. Keeping it clean here.
Rhodes played down for his third leader, Solomon, which allows him to dig into the discard and pull out another card.
So we have a leader that does that.
Yeah.
That's very good.
Whatever happens, guys, this has been awesome.
Did you hear that again? I mean, I just can't. I just love hearing the fact that the table talk is saying, whatever happens, this is awesome. That's great.
Chris put down Cleopatra, which just awards you a blank 5 points. 5 points for a single card. What we were
That's-
saying in the beginning is meaningful.
Right. And that is kind of like the gold standard. If you can get 5 points for every card, victory point, scoring card, not a resource card, of course,
Yeah.
that you're putting on the table, that's a winning strategy.
There are very few cards, and there's I think only 2 building cards that come out in Age 3 that are larger than 5 points.
Right. You have the 7, and that's the Pantheon, Pantheon, and the Senate.
Yep.
Are bigger than 5 points, but that's 2 cards in the entire game.
One.
Ricky played down Mids,
No, sir.
which is money for
Oh, it's not
points.
pressure. It's just,
Midas
Midas.
looks like mids.
It does look like Mids.
Yes, my eyes are old. You know.
Blame him on the back end.
I'm gonna blame it on Brian. He's giving us some notes back there.
yeah.
Does anybody need?
And here is where we see everyone's planning come to fruition.
Or
I-
not.
I don't think I noticed. Look at all the buildings that Ricky's accumulated.
Wow.
Oh, you're thinking.
He's contesting Molly for those buildings, and they're sitting next to each other.
Guys.
Is that a problem? I don't think that there's. I mean, other than the drafting,
Drafting.
of course.
So,
right.
like, if you keep taking
so
the blue
and Molly's going to be drafting ahead.
Molly's going to be drafting
Right.
ahead
So
of her.
that is a problem.
He drafted ahead of her last round, which means he got to take them before they got to her,
Right.
which might mean that she had to change her game a little bit.
That alters it whatsoever.
Good point. Good point.
Plastic thing that goes on the white ones and holds them in place, and then play on top.
If you would get some fancy goods for me, maybe I would buy some of your stuff. I said, I got a wonder right here. These fourth wood, and you're sitting right there holding that wood. I might find your way here shortly.
Negotiating.
Gunn
Are you
has
confirmed where you're saving
Amethyst
those?
as his
Okay.
final
We're all
leader,
good then to
and
play?
that gives you
Yes, sir.
2
I'm
points
going to be playing
for
the
the
university.
wonders,
which I
for
can
the
do
stage of
free
the wonder that
thanks
you
to
built.
my library.
Right. So he's going to get 6 points for that, which is a really nice bump for that playing just that
Arena,
one leader.
$1 for a stone.
He's got to build his last stage. He has not built it yet.
Is your 2.
I'm
but
sure
then
it's
I
part of
get
his calculus on
And
this.
his last stage gives
$9.
him 7 points.
Right.
So
Oh.
that kind of gives him a total of 9 points. And 2
That's-
points for that
3-3,
stage and
and
the
then
7 points just
so
for
2 gold.
building
That's
it.
a big build.
I think he's
Big,
trying to
big
get those
build.
resources together.
Question.
You agree?
Yes, sir.
Is this it?
Thank you. He gives me money.
I want to go and play 7 Wonders with
I
this
know.
group. I mean, they're just so nice and polite. I mean, thank you. Oh, you're welcome.
This is correct. Double check for
Yeah,
me.
everyone's
Let's
check-
do the math together.
The most broken.
Someone cast.
You know, and it's funny. You would think, or it certainly could happen that in a competitive
I've
environment
never
like
seen
this,
her.
that
I
you
am playing the
could
Workers Guild.
not have this.
I have 3
So
of the
it's so
resources
refreshing
living
to see
here.
that they're executing real sportsmanlike conduct
Yes.
here.
Hands down. And I don't know if we talked about it, but the winner of the 7 Wonders Championship is actually going to get a really fancy ring.
Right. So it would be really interesting if
I'll remember
our
these next
wonderful
few hands.
producer Chris would show something on the screen right now. Now look how professional this is. It's a nice black screen. Oh, there we go.
You see how it says 7?
So-
It said
I was-
7 Wonders on the side. You saw it for a beautiful few
There we
seconds.
go.
There it is.
So look at this. No, seriously.
WSBG, and they have all of the rings for all of the games displayed as you walk into the room of open gaming out here. And it says 7 Wonders for the game that you won. So one of these players is walking away with this championship ring.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, that
That is
alone
a
is
good
worth it, right?
memorabilia.
That's
I
great.
want a ring. I want a ring.
And then the winner, as besides the $25,000 for the final winner, they're gonna get this huge bracelet,
Yes.
like in the World Series of some other sport that they play here. Poker. They get this big hunky bracelet to as your bragging rights. Rings and bracelets, they're gonna look so great.
Okay. And you're gonna pay him?
I am. I told him I would.
So it looks like
got a
Gunn
free
actually
favor.
did play Pantheon.
Gunn got the Pantheon. That is 7
7
points.
points.
That's
I
the
think
highest
Wood over here.
Interesting
Everything
about
goes
Bilk
there.
is,
actual scoring
Bilk is
card.
actually just the leader he asked.
Second highest score. Not bad.
So,
Which one is higher
This
there,
makes
Brian? I don't know about
fourth
that.
resource card played in the whole tournament.
Palace.
He's showing us the card even.
It's not on our list. Oh, there it is.
Oh, way
So
up
it is not one
there.
of the ones that
It's
is
not
chained.
chained, right.
So there's a couple more that we missed
I
that
just
have higher
discovered
points than
this.
5. Town Hall, Senate, Palace, Pantheon are all greater than 5 points each.
I'm sure the comments will.
Oh, you need every single resource. You just flash that Palace on the board. You
there we
need
go.
one of everything.
Yes,
That's diversification right there.
that is hard to get out, but it could be a game winner.
Yeah.
Eight
Save
victory
money.
points.
Chris is doing very well with his science strategy,
Yeah,
and he looks pretty uncontested with it at the moment.
All right. I'm going to save the last one. I wonder here. We got 1, 2, 3 wood, and the last one.
Built the final stage of his wonder.
There
That's
we
7
go.
points.
Ludus. I have the 4. Have to spend on the stone, and I get $12, and you can go ahead and give me 2 6s.
Nice. He just played a fantastic card that rewards him for all of the red military cards that he just got. He gets both in-game money, which money does translate as a 3-to-1 ratio, 3 coins for 1 point at the end of the game, and it also gives him end-game points.
And it's a final tiebreaker too. That's the other thing it is.
Yeah.
If it ties.
And there's some cards that actually make money worth more points at the end of the game. They can add additional points.
So it looks like the only person that has not finished the Wonder is Ricky. Is that right?
Gun.
The arena?
Gun and
It's in the
Ricky.
wrong
Oh,
order,
Gun and
but-
Ricky. Okay.
Gun and
Not
Ricky.
going
Down the
back,
bottom
so
two
Right.
have not
I'll
finished their
take
wonders.
$6
I thought I saw.
It's more important for Gun to finish his because he's got that leader that rewards him. It's
Right.
9 points.
I have a feeling he is going to finish that Wonder.
He's trying to.
There's no doubt in my mind.
Ooh, he just put
Gu-
down a 3-point military.
Oh, that is like in your face. Wait, but he's.
It doesn't compete with his neighbor because his neighbor has
You got
2
what I've
on
going
his
You need
Wonder.
that guy. I did not see that guy.
I tried my strat, had 30 coins, didn't win.
Oh, it's not his neighbor.
Really?
My bad.
Yep.
He will
Military got
be
me.
competitive amongst his neighbors.
Yes, he will.
Yes. Gun and Garner are the 2 heavy military in this game right now.
Shiny gold in the back garbage.
You see Garner's hand. look at all
Oh.
those science cards that are just waiting
And-
to be passed around.
And he's doing nothing with them.
He's looking over. I see him looking
Yeah.
over to see which card is going to be worse for his. You see that right now?
He's like, I don't want these cards,
Hate
and I don't want
drafting
anybody to
at
have
its
these cards.
finest.
Yes.
Tough stuff.
He is not happy.
Wow.
He's stuck.
Because I think he wants one of the cards in the hand that he doesn't want to have to take the science to hate draft. But he knows as soon as it gets past to him, that's points.
Now I feel like I'm at the World
Right,
Series of
taking
Poker. I can see the whole cards, and he's
Yeah.
he's looking at me. He's
Look
so
at
mad.
his faces.
Okay, so the one you actually wanted is actually right there. So
Thanks.
yeah, but I give you some science.
It's the only thing worth points.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's bad.
I gave you that one up there for 3 money for all your military cards.
That was a
I
very
think the
generous
only
hit,
linking
right?
symbol on
Right,
the
they
blue
give
I
you some
have
practical
is
bits.
altar.
Oh.
This pack was bad.
It was.
He's still commenting on the set of cards he's passing.
I don't know if anyone's happy with the cards.
That's why I saw it. I'm like, you know what? I'll actually build my wonder here. It's fine.
We have seen some of the guilds come out. It looks like
Ugh.
Molly's placed down
I
a
tried to make
guild.
some stuff.
It looks like Ricky's
Do you
placed
wanna
down a
pay
guild.
Stuff changed.
Double checking my. So 1, 2.
You want to break one of your 6s?
All right. Yeah.
Everybody ready? We got to stage anything?
I'm staged.
All right.
Garner
Don't
has
play the
very
lodge.
limited manufactured
free with my
resources. You see how many brown and gray cards he's got? He's got 1 on his city, 1 brown symbol, and he has only 1 brown card.
I had a dead pack.
He has been going for a minimal resource strategy. He went straight, like you were talking about in the beginning of the game. He went straight
Less
down
dead
for
for
the
you
yellow
because you have
cards.
the cheat.
He did
So-
his what he called to me resource deprivation.
I
Like
can
he
buy
was
the 2 ore, and then I have
not gonna. He was
But I
gonna
get
buy anything.
buy for 1
You know,
stone
from,
over
his
here.
other, from
I
the other
have-
players around him.
When I was walking around
Two
today, I
Jason
saw
players.
other players trying to accomplish that strategy and not succeeding. So kudos to him.
I will
See if
play
it works.
second. So, I have a wood.
He also played down a guild.
Or I need to pay for one in the middle with my broken.
You are the city.
Yeah.
I-
That's when you take blue.
I have Palace. I have to pay for a resource. It'll be clay, I
buying
guess,
the palace.
and
He's buying
the
it?
glass.
Yeah.
So here's $3.
That's his, like, wow.
Oh my goodness.
That's like the most you've been paid.
I mean, other people pay 4.
Gives you a whole point. And you
I've only given you 2 all game.
Alright, so I'm gonna follow up with David's music here. So, if you
Oh,
can-
Gun got another science. It looks like he's got 1 of every symbol. So he's got a set of 3. I like being able to see the cards that,
The cards that are being drafted.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
like Gun's hand has 2 guilds and 2 heavy military cards.
And
don't know if
I
You're
don't think he wants the military at this point.
Yeah.
He doesn't want it.
Yeah.
So those are wastes. He's got to pick a guild card.
Yeah.
Just
Best
remember, the
guild
originator
card
over
for him,
there.
whichever one gets him the most points, because he's got the military. He does not need to strengthen it between his 2.
And Garner's
Neighbors.
got 3 military cards and 2 building
buildings,
cards.
yeah.
So he's going to pick a building card.
He's counting. I see that finger doing that mental math.
Okay, I got to do it.
Gun's also doing some counting. Looks like everyone's doing a little bit of arithmetic at this point in the game. What gets them the most damage? What gives their opponents the least?
I only need stage 1. Yeah, that's right. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1. I have that. Okay. Still only 1.
So have stage performance.
Am I getting the money? Love it. Work it.
Garner's still agonizing over which building to pick.
Garner's got the Craftsman's Guild, which awards him for the gray
Way too
cards on
much.
either side of him. There's not that many gray cards on either side of him, though.
Alright, everybody good?
I am
Everybody preps
surprised.
to pay whoever they have to pay.
Molly has mostly brown cards, and Chris has 1 gray
Alright.
card.
Wonder, I'm putting it in the wonder slot.
He
That's a good-
He probably
good
thought that
call.
was the
Making sure
option.
that's
Remember
He
what he
thought
had?
that was-
He had
Yeah.
nothing good at that
Wonder
point.
slot.
Yep.
I'm going to
You
play.
I can't,
Senate,
I
which I
can't
can
tell
play
you.
for free
Their
because of the
laughing
library.
makes me
Chris
so happy.
took his
You
first
have the
building.
extra 2 coins every time you blink.
If only, right?
Third age.
Alright.
He must have had really
Going
bad,
to play the
really
gardens.
bad.
Look at this.
And
Another
I'm going
building.
to buy
His first
a
building.
Gardner
flag
took his
and
first
a
building.
wood and-
Everyone's like, the buildings at least are straight points.
So,
But that means they're depriving the people who actually really want the buildings.
You up?
I wish I wouldn't have built that last one.
I gotta tell you,
Alright.
Right
I'm
now-
building Magistrate's Guild. You may have
this is
dollar for
anybody's
what?
game.
Go team.
Magistrate.
There's
Real
so
good
many,
Check this.
there are many different strategies going on here, right? You see the science strategy.
Not as good for you.
There's
Real good for
2
him.
Like an
people
extra 2 for purple. Though.
Yeah.
kind of doing
So it's like
science, so
right
that's
in there with
not
the other one
too
up.
much.
No.
So,
And one person went heavy down it.
so
Oh,
that's
look. We have...
that's in play.
Gun just built his last... Gun just built the last
Yeah,
it is.
stage
Very
of his
nice.
wonder.
Just
Nice.
Justinian is like in the discard
Looks like
pile.
someone's messing
wondering
with our
why he's
camera.
not there.
Okay, yeah, what's going on with the camera?
Yep.
So we're seeing
This is the
a
only
card
round I
there. What
haven't
card is Chris
That's the
showing us?
Magistrate's Guild.
Magistrate's
That
Guild.
awards you for the blue cards that your neighbors have on either side of you 1 point. The player who took it is Ricky, and Ricky has the most blue. So he probably took it both in self-defense and in self-awarding because the players on either side of him. Molly's got 4 blue cards, and Gunn has 3 blue
Yeah.
cards. That's 8 points for him, whereas if he had given it to someone else, they
It-
would have gotten
it
the
could be
reward for
monstrous.
his.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
that was
really-
a half hate draft, half really good draft.
Yeah. I am really happy that Gunn built the last stage of his numbers. That was that 9-point swing that we were
Oh, yeah.
talking about. The only one who has not built the 3rd stage is Ricky. I don't know if he has any intention to. It's gonna give him 4 coins and 5 points. It's not bad.
The 5
but
points
it might
is certainly
not
worth
be
it at the end.
at the end, but it might not be what he's aiming for.
He's got 2 guilds and 1, 2, 3, 4. What is he? 5, 6? He's got 5 or
Technically, it
6.
would be 6 points because the money translates as a 3-to-1 ratio.
Okay. Right. How many buildings does he have? 5?
Ricky? Yeah, he has 5 buildings.
Wow.
So if he had given that card to anyone else, that would have been 5
Yeah.
points to them.
With fear.
Everybody stage.
Alright. Sell that guy.
My 3.
Hmm.
Play
Ricky has
fortification.
the leader
I
that
can
gives him
provide
an extra point
2
for
more,
the
and
set
then
of 3 money.
Leonidas.
So for him, it actually
takes
might
care
be
of
7
1.
points to build
I'm
that
gonna have
last
him
stage
take
of
care of
his
the ore
wonder.
since I
Because
kind
it
of
gives
got
him
the ore
5
thing
money,
going on. I
which
will
3
pay
of
you
that
for
money
1.
can translate into 10 points at the end of the game if he doesn't need to use it for anything.
Very good.
One thing, and we do it so well.
And Garner put that military in.
I have resources
Is that
for it, but it's
helping him at all? I mean,
It might have been the best card out of the bunch,
I will
honestly.
build to my wonder.
what is
Absolutely.
what is that? Liam?
He's got some of his leaders reward him for military cards as well. You see some of his
I
first 2
started
leaders.
to get into
But I
shipping.
mean, to that extent that he would need that. I mean, he's
He doesn't
got
need it for the military might, but for every red card he has,
every red card.
Every
'cause
red
he's got 3.
It's the last one.
It's the final countdown.
I don't have the
They're
leaders
singing
in
there,
front
it's
of
so
me,
much
but
fun.
for every red card, it's either 1 or 2 points that he's got.
Yeah, you can
So-
pay me for the one. I just didn't want to make sure I came.
And there's
This
Leonidas'
is the
card
last-
was being shown to us right now.
There we go, 1 point.
Way too much military.
You know,
Anyone want to agree we can play duplicates?
No,
Alexander,
not this time.
a 1 point. Every military
Maybe next year.
success that he got, it was worth an additional point. So the 1 points are worth 2 points, the 2 points are worth, the 3 points are worth 4 points, and the 5 points are worth 6 points.
So that brings
yes,
wow, your 18-point
really
military to a
21.
potential of
no,
times
Yeah,
2.
middle for discard.
24.
21, 24. Now that becomes a tremendous amount.
Yeah,
Pretty good.
this is their last card. We are about to be
Wow.
reaching end game scoring.
Pretty paying who they gotta pay.
I'll double check.
For people in this room sweating, not only the people at the table sweating.
Take your time. Take your time.
Okay. Let's go ahead and play the town hall. I have Rick.
Okay. Chris
Rick.
played down
Lore.
building for 6
Give me some
points.
glass.
It's not bad.
I'll take some glass.
6 points for a card. He's already built all 3 stages of his wonders. He's set there. He probably didn't get
My
any more
1
science
point
cards.
card.
That's going to be the bulk of his
Circus
points.
via chain.
Gardner
More
pretended another military
military.
card.
So,
Thank you. Yeah, that was very kind.
This will take $3.
Ooh,
1 point club. Woot, woot.
This
would Molly.
Arsenal for $1.
Oh!
I had no choice. They were both.
I could go back to school then.
Arsenal? he
Here's how
said?
academic
He just
that-
played down his first military
I
card.
can
Ricky
drink
played
to
down a
put them to
3
work.
strength military card, which will best Molly with her 2 strength.
All right,
Oh.
final military
He just,
confrontation.
he just snuck
Get my
5
negative
points
one,
out
please.
from, at least on one side.
Negative
Took it
2
away
Buried
from
my
Molly.
lighthouse.
The other side, he was losing points.
I
Points,
received
so
10 points.
I don't think it's a lighthouse
now they
either.
are rewarding their
That could've
military
gotten
points.
Must be
Yeah,
in
that
there.
was, I mean, who knows? That could be a game changer
It's,
right
it's
there.
Yeah.
Because she expected
They
5
did
points.
5 and a
Get rid
minus
of
Now she's
some-
Oh, there's
at
some other-
minus
there's
3.
some other-
He's going to get the 5
I got
points.
5
Oh, you want to give me
He
that?
passed that to me. I was like,
With both the
wow,
signs.
And then
you really want
he
me?
gets
Never passing them the
10
cards.
points.
I mean, I would have loved it too.
I,
You could send
yeah,
my way.
I was like, what's 5 times? Wait, what's 6 times? Wait, I don't want
You
those.
don't want those.
You got Who's your money
I
on
beat
right
you with
now?
science.
Well,
Right jar.
you know, it was
Right, so
Garner when we started.
Nathan is going to be writing down your scores.
Wow.
And then as the totals get tallied, I'm going
I mean, looking at this.
table by table so I can relay it to the control room where we're streaming. All right. So,
If he just
starting
speaks a
with
little bit
Chris.
louder, we can hear
So,
him while he's doing it.
I got 10 points for the wonder.
What should we do? Wonder all around.
I'm going to
Oh,
go
okay.
with
10 points.
Ricky.
15.
Okay.
Ricky with all those
Buildings.
points and buildings, the 2 guilds.
Second score.
Let's see.
Please,
Money.
Money. Yeah, money.
Yeah, both of his guilds are powerful.
Chris.
One's for
1,
red for the
2,
brown cards,
3,
and one's for
4
the
points.
blue.
4 points for Chris.
I also have 4 points.
4 points. Connor.
5 points.
5 points for Molly.
4 points.
4 points for Richard. 2 points for Gunn. Okay. Military.
I think they all played a strong.
Big -6.
I think they all played a
Solid.
fantastic game.
18.
There's
18.
nobody here that looks weak at all.
-1.
Yeah, I honestly can't say whose
Positive.
game is going. I'm going for Chris with that science strategy, but I don't know if he's pulled it out
It's
this
so
time.
risky, right? You
Yeah, yeah.
it's
Go
it's
triangle.
underdog strategy. When you start and it doesn't work.
All right.
but
Blue cards.
12.
12 for Chris.
5.
5.
21.
21 for Molly.
24.
24 for Richard.
14.
14 for Gunn. Okay. Yellow points.
0 for me.
0 for Chris.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
9 points. Molly?
4.
4.
What are we on?
Yellows.
3.
3 points for Richard.
0.
0 for
Yeah, you just got a little bit.
All right, science.
I could have built mine out, so I'm really good.
Check the science out now.
Look how he's separating them into their sets.
Oh, yeah.
Well, now
And he's to decide his wonder, which
Pretty sure
So
that
he
gives
has
you more
2
points
sets.
of 3 each.
That would give me the 7
So
across.
3 times 3, 9.
Yeah,
So
it's
one
1
would be
point.
16 points. and
Plus,
one would
yeah,
be
plus
9.
it counts for itself, so it gives you 8 points, whereas stacking on either one of those gives you 7 points.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll make it the set. So we'll make it the gear over there.
Hmm.
So 9, 9, 7, 18, 25.
One more.
Plus 1
One
for
more.
the actual.
He
So 9,
did it
9,
last
9,
science
18,
symbol that he
18,
did
and
not
18,
have.
26
Oh.
Because the
18
difference
plus
in
8 is
points
26.
Yeah.
was greater.
He gets a 25.
Oh, I didn't get the +1. Right.
Yes.
the hardest part of
For its own call.
Right.
calculating grade.
0. Goose egg.
Putting under pressure.
First time
0.
So you
Ever,
have
maybe?
26 points.
I've always
Science.
do
Science.
science.
1
1
point.
point for science.
26.7.
That was
That's a
my
lot of
my
points.
my
I
stumble.
could have played 1 or taken 3. It was 1 point.
13?
Anyway.
13 is
I should
what I
have
see.
played it to my wonder as
4 and 7, is it?
So,
2 squared, so you get the 2 gears
which is 4 points,
plus the 7.
plus the 7, which is 11, plus 1, 1.
For the other
Okay.
individuals.
13.
13. Purples.
0.
Okay. Dose.
You're welcome.
Whoops, I
Does this count your?
No, it's
That counts during leaders.
Okay, so 9.
9.
9 points in
Looks
the
like
nine.
just a little talk checking here. It looks
Yeah.
like 8 and 7 for 15.
Ugh. 15 points.
Yeah.
Gross!
Okay,
I was gonna say
I
that.
even had more.
Gross.
Okay.
Very sad.
Alright. And the black. What's the black?
Black is nothing.
That's not
that's
an
not
insane.
Armada.
Leaders.
Cities, yeah.
Yeah.
5 for me.
Points from leaders.
Leaders
5
points.
are irrelevant. Did you count that is 7 or 8? For what?
8 and
We did-
7 for the other one.
Yeah.
7 for the Browns. Okay. Yeah, we got 15. Alright. Okay. So 5 points for leader.
Yep.
Chris? Leader points?
This is a nail biter.
6.
Oh no, it is 6, but it's because of these, not because of
Yeah,
those.
it's a military.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's for military
So,
tokens,
yes.
so it's these. But it's still 6.
Still 6.
He won
Just
every
for a
single
different reason.
military.
Got
Yeah,
it.
an additional 6 points. Like we were
I was right.
calculating.
I didn't mean to be.
So he had to get a full 24
5
points.
right
Yeah.
for the
Right.
ball for 9.
But he had to use 1,
18
2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Yeah.
6 cards for that. Plus the
Nine.
leaders
Five.
doing
6
other
again.
That's 20.
So you won
24
4
points.
Blue,
points.
and then, yeah.
And then I don't think we do the last 2.
Yeah, last
points
2
per card.
are
Which is a nice 4 points per card is certainly nothing to sneeze at.
Do it in my head. We'll do it like you want to read them out loud?
Good.
No, just
Oh,
the final,
they're
just the
tallying
totals.
final scores. Are you ready?
People are listening
I
to
was
this.
gonna say,
Oh man.
I'd love it if you read it out loud as you tally.
I will do that, yes. But I'm going to do the
Sure,
calculator,
that's fine.
of course, so people can see. All right,
Anybody want to buy something?
Chris,
You just-
10 plus 4 minus 6 plus 12 plus 26 plus 5 for a grand total of 51.
It's a
So
decent-
Chris has 51 points, his final total.
10 plus 4 plus 18 plus 5 plus 9 plus 2 plus 6, 54.
Whoa. Yikes. Take a game.
Molly,
was-
15 plus 5 minus 1
Was
plus
that Garner
21
54?
plus 4 plus 9 plus 2, 55.
What is
Wow. 55?
This is the finals how it should be, right?
So,
They are within
wow.
4 points of each other right now.
So we were just told by Brian that 62 was the average over all the games that we saw.
9.
In average, a winning score is
67.
around
Oh, you held
62.
me under 70, guys.
Biggest one I've heard. 79.
So this is really tight.
Wait,
Yeah,
what's
that's my
Ricky's
lowest
score?
score today.
Let's say 74 was my top
All right,
score.
last score done. 7.
Oh, we missed Ricky.
7.
Sorry
plus
there,
2,
valued
plus
viewers.
18 plus 14 plus
Ooh,
13.
we think it was 67.
64.
Oh, wow.
All right, so
Just keep
we have seat 1.
I was right.
Chris
We
at
have
51
you
points.
have a winner.
Seat 2,
Whoa.
at 54 points. Seat 3 is Molly with 55 points. Seat 4 is Richard with 67. Seat 5 is Gunn with 64. Nice recovery, man. And that makes our winner.
Hey.
Ricky. Congratulations. Ricky is the
Congratulations,
ring
Ricky.
event winner at the World Series of Board
Those
Gaming
two-
2022.
Yes,
Those
sir.
two
Yeah,
fields
but-
pulled it
Right?
off for
I
him.
like that you did the
Both
roads
hate
as far
drafting
as
it
that.
and keeping them for himself. He is the
Oh,
finalist
this is
for
the
7
awesome.
Wonders
Isn't
with
that
the Leaders
amazing?
expansion.
So he gets the ring for winning this. He gets to move into the semifinals from all of the 16 winners of
I know
all
this
of
is
the ring
very
events.
good. Can I have a pen?
And then
I'd like to get everybody to
the
sign
4
this.
winners there will advance to the finals for the $25,000.
And the games that they are playing in the semifinals are none
Would you
of
mind
the
signing
games
that
that they
down?
are currently playing. To give them an even playing field. So you can't just come being the best at one game and below average on everything else. You gotta practice your gaming skills all over the board.
That's right. I mean, I even know players. I spoke to players here that weren't even going to get in, do their best game during the games that they were going to play for the rings because they were hoping to play that when they could really do well in the semifinals and the finals. So
Gotcha.
this has been amazing. Thank you so much for doing this with me, Shira. I think this has been absolutely incredible. Thank you out there, everybody watching. Thanks to the World Series of Board Gaming staff for having us do this. I'm Stephen Bonacore, the Podfather of Gaming.
I'm Shira from Quackalope. Stay tuned for more of these live events throughout this entire weekend. There's a lot more to come.
Thank you all.